Hello everyone and welcome back to the Manners Matters class. My name is Jacqueline Hendricks, the creator of this class for my Girl Scout Gold Award. And today we are going to be looking at day 3, which is the social skills session. This is all about respect, doing our think flower, and things like that. So in the video we're going to be going through the discussions and activities and making references to the appendix, which I have available on my YouTube. I have a video posted now about how to download both of these. You can find that under the tutorials playlist. Getting things started is a discussion. You can show them this picture, and it basically talks about different social skills: asking for help, taking turns, listening actively, waiting patiently, all these different skills that are important in social situations, such as group projects, accepting people's differences when you work in a group, all participating equally so one person doesn't do the whole project, things like that. They're all important when you deal with social skills. Activity. What is respect? You're going to need page 10 in the appendix. This is the matching exercise. We have a bunch of situations on the left, and they all have a match on the right. So for example, your friend steals one of your pencils, you get upset and call them names in the attempt of showing your anger. Out of these 4 over here, when you call someone names, you are not considering their feelings. You can tell someone you are upset without being mean. So that will be the answer to that one. They each have an answer, and this activity kind of requires the kids to think a little bit about each response, because it shows calling them names and, yelling at them. So someone's feelings may be hurt, so some of them can have more than one answer, but there's only one for each. And then we move on to the think flower. You're going to tell the students about the chart above. All you're going to need for this is construction paper, scissors, glue, the flower template on page 11, and some writing utensils. So page 11 looks like this. These hearts right here are going to be the petals, and this shape is going to be the stem of the flower, and then this circle is going to be in the middle. Now we're going to look at how to put it all together. So the first thing you're going to do is align the petals around the white circle, and you want to kind of even them out. Then you're going to get your glue, and you're going to glue down each of the petals so that they are even around the circle, like I said earlier. And then you're going to flip it over, and I had to change my yellow one because it wasn't even, but it should look like this. So now you're going to take your stem and glue the top part of it between any 2 petals, so that way it kind of sticks out and looks like this. So now it's time to write on each of the petals. So using your writing utensil on each of the different heart petals, you're going to go and write what's in the chart that I showed you earlier. So this is why I say to do it after, so you know how to write on the petals so that you can see it all. So in the middle, once you're finished with that, you're going to write before you speak with a ... So that way they know that you should do each of these things before you say something. So like I said, it's going to have, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? With before you speak in the middle. So this is a picture, even though I showed you, of what it looks like in the end, but you have one in the actual lesson plan. So now we're going to do a discussion. You're going to ask the students to give examples of social greetings. You can either write them down on a whiteboard somewhere or just talk about it. And then based on their responses, you can kind of make more creative ones if you want. And there's a chart right here of some common ones. What's new? What's happening? How's it going? All of these things are examples of social greetings. 23 manners every child and adult should know. We gave this to them on the last day, which was the tea party, but they get their list. This is page 15 of the appendix. So it's one of the last pages in there. Just kind of go over it. When asking for something, say please. When receiving, say thank you. Knock on closed doors. Don't just walk in them. When people ask how you are, tell them, and then ask them back. Don't call people names. If you bump into somebody, say excuse me. All of these are just kind of basic respect key points that everybody should know. The yes or no checklist activity, this is page 12. It's a respect chart. So you say yes or no if the following things are things you should do or should not. So knowing your friend's name, yes, you should probably know your friend's name. Only talk about yourself, that's a no. So go through the list, check yes or no, then review it and see what their answers were. This is more of a visual for those kids who kind of need a visual about what we're talking about. So you don't need a whole lot because they'll get the point without having to squirt this whole big blob onto a plate. All you're gonna need is toothpaste and a plate or bowl, but a plate is kind of easier for everybody to see. The toothpaste is representing your words, and the tube is kind of representing your mouth. So it's easy. You can show them this as you squirt out the toothpaste. It's pretty easy. It's not that difficult to get the toothpaste out of the tube. But if you try to put it back in, so you can try to scoop the toothpaste back into the tube, it's a lot more difficult. So as you say things, you really aren't thinking sometimes about how what you're saying can affect someone else, but trying to take that back and say, like, I'm sorry, is a lot more difficult than it seems. Always be conscious about what you're saying and how it can affect everybody. I put the directions here, so you can either have the students come and squirt the toothpaste. I just did it myself because I had a big class, so I didn't want each of them to come up and then squirt the whole tube. And this says if somebody puts down somebody else, then they must have 10 things said nice about them to kind of counteract that negative comment. If a child gets put down 3 times in a single day, 30 compliments is what is needed to get him back to that original state. So that's a big number that is needed to repair somebody when something bad is said about them. The next activity, if you have time, this was from the other day too, crisscross and word search in the appendix 8 and 9. So crisscross, words, blanks, pretty simple. Word search, find these words in the chart. That's pretty simple too. The week-long activity is the My Good Manners chart, page 7 of the appendix. You basically have them check all these boxes by the end of the week, have their parents sign on this line, and then they can turn it in. I gave them prizes when they turned it in. This was the social skills and respect lesson. It was a pretty activity-based day. There wasn't a lot of discussion besides talking about the different pictures. The think flower also is a discussion, like I said. So before you have them cut and glue, go over this. The think before you speak. Is it true, helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind? So that way they understand the reasoning behind making this think flower. A lot of activities to keep the kids occupied and interested. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the videos to come.